So hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and first of all I would like to thank once again Suzuki Auto Philippines for lending me out this 2024 Suzuki Ertiga GLX Hybrid. So this is the top of the line version of the Ertiga lineup here in the Philippines, and I'm so glad again I'm back in a Suzuki because you all know me, my first ever lend out was a Celerio AGS. I've driven this almost exactly a year ago too, somewhat still the same thoughts here and there. However, having this for almost a week now, I learned a lot more now on how this hybrid system works, the driving dynamics. Well, I say hybrid, mild hybrid system, but ironically this has hybrid badges at the rear. Looks very similar to another car that I toured on my channel and I raced with. I wonder whose that is. Anyways, so here you have halogen lights all around, even for your fog lamps. That's a small nitpick of mine only, since the XL7 I think has the same or LED lights, or the updated ones I'm referring to, the ones in the Indian market. The ground clearance remains the same at 185 millimeters. One change only here for the exterior is this chrome grille. Not my cup of tea, but I don't mind it whatsoever. It's no longer the straight cut like with the previous non-hybrid version. There's a lot more chrome here, especially to here at the side profile on the door handles themselves, but that's the only chrome here. Everything is blacked out. I don't mind it whatsoever. And weirdly enough, even though this is a mild hybrid vehicle now, you still have the variable valve timing badge here on the left side, and still this is equipped with 15-inch alloy wheels, my favorite set of wheels. I think this is like the same now with the XL7. So biggest talking point now with this Ertiga Hybrid up to this day. Where's the latch? There you go. So powering this is still the same, but with an additional hybrid system, mild hybrid system rather. So this is still the same K15B engine. So this is a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that produces 103 horsepower and 138 Newton meters of torque. And all Ertiga hybrids, well, most of them are mated to a 4-speed automatic transmission. But it is very interesting now that lower GL and GA variants are equipped with a 5-speed manual transmission, but it still has the 12-volt system. I'm very curious on how that will drive soon. So Suzuki Auto Philippines, just in case you have one, let me drive that. So anyways, back here now with this engine, it's the same governance with the non-hybrid variant, but this time you have a belt starter generator instead of a compressor for the electric motor itself. Remember, this is a 12-volt system. It is kind of small compared to like the ones you find in a Covango and I think CX60, CX90 models, since those have 48-volt mild hybrid systems. I was expecting for this to have at least 24 volts, but 12 volt is kind of small. However, driving this for almost a week now, I kind of love its performance. The 12 volt system has an additional 3 horsepower and 50 Newton meters of torque. So there is some pep to this Ertiga Hybrid, which I really love. And for this, you can see here, this still has a traditional battery. Well, a lead acid battery. Then it says here on this engine, the lithium ion batteries are stored there in the middle on the second row. But before we get there, I just saw now, this says 1.5 liter engine, but it says here 1590 cc. Isn't that supposed to be 1.6 by now? Anyways, so all the batteries are stored underneath here in the second row. So underneath this second row, I finally was able to have a shot of this. This is where you store your lithium-ion batteries. So reason probably Suzuki chose a 12-volt system and located here just below the second row is because to give it a better weight distribution. That's mainly it. I mean, it's a small 12-volt system and that's pretty much it. So I have my friend with me here now. He's 5'8", 5'7". I can fit here in the back pretty easily. But with my driving position, feet room is excellent. And body room, I can stretch all the way forward. Even my headroom, my whole hand and I think a pinky finger amount of headroom, which is pretty good. So sadly, even though this is a Ertiga Hybrid, I was expecting a little bit more toys here in the second row. So you have 2 map pockets on either side, and here in the middle you have a 12-volt socket. Sadly, no USB ports, but sitting here in the middle is a bit softer than in the left and right side of the seat. So both the back and butt cushions, pretty soft, and the transmission tunnel is not that tall. Put your feet wherever you want to. But at least for this GLX van, unlike the GA base model hybrid, you get air conditioning system right above here. And thank God there are 4 vents, unlike the 3 of the Honda BRV. Sorry, just being honest. Here on the door card, it's the same like the ones in front. It's all plastic, but at least you have fabric soft touches here for your elbow, cubby spaces, well, thin ones, and cup holders on either side. A big water jug will just about fit too. And going to the third row too, okay, pretty easy. Just slide the second row seat forward and you can finally sit there. Okay, the third row might be best for small kids and adults like me only, but I still have enough room all around there in the back. And you get 2 cup holders on either side only. So that's already half interior walkthrough I just did by accident. Anyways, let's check out the boot. And now here at the Suzuki Ertiga Hybrid, only minor changes done here. Well, not a fan of this, but to distinguish that this is the newer Ertiga Hybrid model, you get a chrome strip here on the tailgate itself. Not my cup of tea, just being honest, but it's fine, it's just that. And to an addition, you get your hybrid badge here yet again. This looks really familiar, I gotta be honest. And signature too for this Ertiga Hybrid, well, all Ertigas, even the previous non-hybrid model, you get Volvo style tail lights. I mean, they look pretty good. It's a signature of all Ertigas. Reverse camera over here on the left, it's kind of hidden too. Parking sensors all around. And finally, when you open the boot up, this equates to 199 liters, which is enough for one whole day of clutter, like my stuff over here. But this is all I need, and surprisingly, with all of the seats up, it still fits. And another signature here, under storage is totaled at 56 liters. So basically, you can fit bags, shoes, whatnot. I mean, this can go all the way down if needed. And when you finally fold all of the third row down, it totals at 550 liters. And with all of the seats down now, it's 803 liters. The seats don't fold all the way flat, sadly, but at least you have extra space. So that's about it here with the exterior, engine, boot, and the second and third row of this Ertiga Hybrid. Let's check out the front of this interior. So this is the interior of this Ertiga GLX Hybrid. So here in the door cards, pretty much the same. You still have your wooden trim and fabric soft touches down for your elbow. And cubby spaces, cup holders on either side. My big water jug as well fits. And start this up. There you go. You're greeted with a lot of Suzuki stuff here in the TFT display. And for your infotainment, we will get to that just in a moment. Along to with the engine start-stop function, as I would call it in every Suzuki review. Yes. So here on the left side, you get your wooden trim once again. And you have only one blank button for your electronic stability control, parking sensor, and your auto start stop function, the yes, yet again. And way further down, you get a cubby space, enough for your RFIDs and your wallet. And yeah, minor changes here only done to the interior, but it's exactly the same as the Ertiga GLX Black Edition, the non-hybrid. As well, that's one of my first Suzuki reviews. Check that out on my channel. Basically, it's mostly the same, albeit this is only the hybrid version. So here in the steering wheel, I finally get why it's a D shape, because once you turn it right or left, it's the letter D. So I understand why Kako said, oh, it is a letter D. Anyway, so you get a wooden trim once again, and then you get your volume and your mute buttons on the left side, and your cruise control functions here on the right side and way further down for your phone connectivity. Pretty handy. Was able to use that for the first time. So when you answer calls, you don't have to press the infotainment anymore. So you're always focused on the road. And here, unique now with this Ertiga Hybrid, you get your analog speedometer and tachometer, but you have blue accents all around it, and you have your 4.3-inch TFT display with a lot of information from your idle, your clock, and hilariously, like the XL7, this has a G-force meter. No idea why you need it, but as an enthusiast like me, I found that pretty fun to use. And once you come from a long drive or a long trip, and when you turn off the engine, it will even give you a final reading of the G-force, which I find pretty hilarious. And then more here for your power and torque curve. No idea why you need it, but I don't mind it. Acceleration. And here's the biggest change now being the hybrid. You have your engine, motor, and battery information. So you're also wondering now, this happens a lot during the test drives with Suzuki Ertigas. How do you make this car full? But in the city, I can get at least 2, or even here, the display 4 bars. But on highway driving, you can fully charge the battery system itself, which is pretty handy. I noticed when you're coasting, even from high speeds, this will even display that the engine is charging the motor. So it will decelerate all the way down up to 30 kilometers per hour once the regenerative braking turns off. So 30 below, it's already off, but you can start regen braking if you're lucky enough from 40 all the way down to 30. That's how I did it during when I was driving this around EDSA only. And then here for your 10-inch infotainment system, you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Few nitpicks only. For Apple CarPlay, there's just like little pixelations around in the icons, and for Android Auto, I mean, it gets the job done. I mean, an Android user, it's pretty much easy. However, my friend and I noted this infotainment system is a little bit more reflective than usual. It's kind of distracting. Sadly, same to here with the wooden trim that stretches all the way to the right side of the passenger. When it's on a sunny day, yeah, there's just too much reflection going in. That's just my observation only, by the way. So, glove box. Okay, pretty decent. You have buttons for your climate control. This is as well a dual zone, and then your engine start stop button. Further down, you have your 12-volt socket, USB port, and an aux cord, along too with the cubby space where you can put your phones. Sorry, my phone's just wired because I'm charging. And like my favorite against with the competition, this is the only one that has cooling function for your cup holders. Sadly, only cups and small bottles will just about fit in there, but I cannot put this. But again, I fit in the door cut, so I don't mind that whatsoever. So here in the gear shift, pretty simple, PR and D2L. No manual mode whatsoever, but you have an overdrive function. So I want to mention this too. Once you turn off the overdrive, there's a little bit more delay here than usual with the 4-speed. Again, to help save your consumption for your fuel. But I didn't see any difference, so I just left it on at all times because this 4-speed is silky smooth, I gotta say, but it's not as smooth, I gotta be honest, only with the Mitsubishi Expander. But I would say this is second best, and it's a 4-speed automatic. I don't mind that whatsoever because I'm kinda still against-ish with some CVT vehicles out there in general. So for the behind, manual handbrake, and one of my biggest nitpicks sadly here with this Ertiga Hybrid, you don't have a center console box. So me and my friends sometimes we're just adjusting your seats. Ay, sorry, yeah, kind of awkward. So two being the top of the line model, sadly these are still all fabric seats, but pretty comfortable to sit in, and bolstering, okay, pretty good as well. So it all the seats here throughout these Ertigas all fabric, but all of them are good at least. So above here you have your halogen lights, mirror, you have a visor. You only have get the vanity mirror on the passenger side. Don't extend. The quality of this feels exactly like my former daily car. Interesting. So yeah. Oh yeah, we're done. I thought we're gonna go to the second and third row. So we're done here. Let's go for a drive. So here, driving the all-new Suzuki Ertiga Hybrid. So despite the shortcomings of the features, there's one thing I cannot complain about. Right, it's that the 12-volt system acts like the curse back in the day of Formula 1 during the V8 area. Albeit this boost deploys automatically rather than using a push-to-pass button. The Ertiga Hybrid, I gotta say, even though I've driven all of the competitors already, this is one of the peppiest and most fun ones I've ever driven. Yes, this 4-speed has long gearings, and as I mentioned, it's not as good-ish as the Expander, but this one comes at a very close second place, which I don't mind it. And driving it around in EDSA heavy traffic, even for this past couple of weeks, overtaking and driving this on the highway, it's easy and stable. Yes, the ride of this is so-so. I mean, here's an example over a very big hump. I mean, you can hear just a tiny bit of suspension tad, but I'm willing to forgive it because this is a budget MPV anyway. This is not some like crazy luxury with 600 million horsepower of twin turbo V8s. So the suspension leans towards more to the stiffer side of things. However, once it's fully loaded, at least around 5 to 7 people as I've tested, it does settle down. Even, I mean, on highway and city driving like here, you don't feel much of the bumpiness, the jitteriness of the suspension anymore. Even though like 1 to 2 or even 3 people, yes, I mentioned the ride's just a little bit stiffer than usual. However, even over uneven surfaces and potholes, this goes through them with ease. And the handling of this too, I mean, it's pretty light, but there's enough heft to it. So imagine I push it like this, Yeah, there's so much. This handling is actually pretty underrated amongst the competition. So it's not too light, unlike example Toyota, but I think this one's among the better ones in this class, I got to be honest. Even though this has somewhat a lot of body roll, the Ertiga Hybrid is even fun to drive, even when you push this to its limits. This Ertiga Hybrid may be only a mild hybrid system, but it returns excellent fuel economy. This is what impressed me the most with this. Well, actually, all Suzukis in general, they all have been fuel efficient, except one car, which I'm keen to dive on soon after this. But that's a review and a video for another time. So, on heavy EDSA traffic, as usual, my lowest was around 7 to 8.6 kilometers per liter. I would say that's still not bad because this is due to the IAS start-stop system. I mean, here, I'll just stop. And then it's off, right? Then watch when I floor the throttle again. Oh, wow. That's one of the more smoother ones I've ever tried out on my channel. I would say it's even as good as some of the luxury vehicles out there. I mean, here again. Yes. Gonna activate. So, as well too, I noticed when I'm driving this at heavy EDSA traffic, this will be off continuously for 1 minute only, consistently. And here, floor it again. Wow, look at that. That transition is nuts. So, on better days, like on a weekend, city traffic, like EDSA, same place, I manage a whopping 10.6 kilometers per liter, which is pretty good. And a combined figure now, along with city and highway driving, I manage 12.6 kilometers per liter. And then here now we go to the good part. For highway driving with heavy traffic, surprisingly, I don't know why it's so traffic everywhere nowadays, so I was able to go only as 14.6 kilometers per liter. But however, today, prior to this shoot, I finally got to manage 15.8 kilometers per liter. Okay, everyone might say, why didn't you go to the 18 kilometers per liter? I mean, I know it will do it because reviews already I've seen with this Ertiga Hybrid, everyone's done at least 18 to 19 kilometers per liter. So, without a shout, without even trying, I know I'll be able to do that. And that's another advantage of this 12-volt system with this Ertiga. It's very fuel efficient wherever you go, no matter what. So, as I mentioned, despite the shortcomings of features with this Suzuki Ertiga Hybrid, I would still highly recommend this vehicle because it's fuel efficient and you can carry a lot more people than usual. Same too like with the rest of the MPVs in this class. And speaking of, for this one, this stands up, this top of the line, by the way, stands at 1,178,000 pesos, which is pretty well valued against the competitions that I've mentioned. So would I buy one? Well, there's a story I never told you about, guys. So I was eyeing before 2020 3 new cars, so as a daily or as a second car. This was one of them, the Ertiga 9 Hybrid. So if I bought one back in the day, would I have regretted it? Not a single chance. And this Ertiga Hybrid is even better. So we have a winner.